Hello bookish friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Drew and this is Drew's Ambitious Reading, and for today's video I am here to come at you with a readathon announcement and a TBR video all at once. I am participating in a readathon which is hosted by my friend Donna over at Mom's Book Collection and Manda over at Manda the Bibliophile. I'll leave both of them down below. You should definitely go check them out. They are both so amazing. This readathon is happening throughout the whole month of May, and it's the 8th as I'm filming this video for you guys. So I've already am almost finished with one of these books. I'll be finishing it tonight after filming. I was too lazy to set up my actual camera for this video, so sometimes it'd be like that. But I just want to film this video to get this out for you guys. So there's all the info. I have 12 reading challenges here, which means I have 12 books here that I have to get through. Some of these are super short, some of these are not. So let's jump into the reading challenges. I have them written down here on a notepad. Not a notepad, but on a paper. So let's go through the challenges first, and then I'll show you the books I'm reading. So challenge 1 is to read a book with a color in the title. Challenge 2, which I'm doing with you guys here in a few minutes, is to social media scroll. The first book that you see on your social media page, whether it be Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whatever that first book you see that you have unread is the one you have to pick. So I'll be doing that with you guys. Challenge 3 is borrow a book from a library, which I always use my library, so that's perfect. Challenge 4 is flowers or nature on the cover. Challenge 5 is to finish a series. We all have those big long series on our TBR, so try and find a finale or whatever the next book that you need to get to in that series. Next is to read a book off your physical TBR. Very easy. Pick a book from your physical TBR. I did a random number generator for that one, so, and you guys will see what book that random number generator did. Sorry for this info. Next is LGBTQIA plus main character. So find a book with a main character who's part of the LGBTQ community. Next is book under 300 pages. Readathon is all about reading those thin books that you have on your TBR. This is always perfect for me because every single time I do one of these rounds, I always have a Wayward Children book, and so I have that one for a Readathon book. Next challenge is to read a graphic novel. I actually just bought one this week, and I'm adding that to my TBR. I do have another one that I'll be sharing later on, so very stoked to have 2 graphic novels. Next is format different than you own. So if you like me and you listen to audiobooks, you can physically read something from either a physical copy of a book, or you can read physically on your Kindle, which I'll probably do because I have a couple arcs that I want to get to. Challenge 11 is found family trope, which is one of my favorite tropes ever in a fantasy book, or even just book in general. So when I heard Donna announce that reading challenge in her video, I screamed. I was like, oh my gosh, I love that trope. That was actually an easy one for me to find because it's a book that I've been wanting to read for forever now. So pretty stoked for that. And the last challenge is forgotten book. Read that forgotten book that has been either sitting on your TBR for years or you just forgot about it. Pretty easy, self-explanatory. So let's jump into my TBR, shall we? So the first book was to read a book with a color in the title, and I'm trying to knock out some of my Owl Crate books, so I'm gonna say that here and now, that way I don't repeat myself. But the one I picked for that is Witches Steeped in Gold by Sinean Smart. This is a first in a new YA fantasy duology. I own book 2 on my bookshelf. It's actually right over here on my purple shelf. So if I really love this one, I definitely will continue on with the duology and hopefully complete it this year. I don't remember too much about this. It says, enemies bent on revenge, an unlikely alliance, one witch left standing. Some of my favorite authors, or 2 of my favorite authors, have blurbed this book, so I'm very stoked for that. One of them is Donna Clayton, author of the Belle series. She says, a bloody and deadly delight. Witches steeped in gold puts power into the hands of black girls. The true beating heart of magic. And then Raina Barron, author of Kingdom of Souls, which is like one of my favorite series ever, she said, this delightfully delicious tale of witches and magical intrigue will have you reading late into the night. Ooh. It's a very thick book, and I've been hearing mixed reviews about this one lately, but this is also could count for one book that I have forgotten about. So yeah, if I read this, I'll knock off a Owl Creek book off my very long list that I have in my reading journal. I don't know where to put my books. The next challenge is social media scroll. So I'm gonna go on Instagram and we shall see what my first unread book will be. So I'm gonna scroll through. I was gonna show you, but then I was like, I probably get copyrighted, so let me see. Ooh, okay, that was pretty easy. Okay. So the first book that is unread on my TBR from social media scroll is Where She Weren't Here by not Jenna Voice, wow, by Erin Baldwin. I actually have an e-arc of this from NetGalley. So am I reading an arc this month? Manda and Donna, like, what? I'm so excited. So this is Wish She Weren't Here by Erin Baldwin. This comes out in June, but this is going to be my July book club pick for Queerreads. And we also have an author interview with the author herself at the very end of July. So yay, very happy with that. So that was pretty easy. So we have Wish You Weren't Here by Erin Baldwin. Next is borrow a book from a library. I always use my library, and I love it when my library has like those new releases that are fresh and new, and that's no exception to Wild Lore Book 4, The Night Compass by Amanda Foody. This is the 4th installment of the series. I think there's going to be 7 in this world. I could be wrong, maybe 8. I know book 5 comes out in 2025, which is so funny of how the author did that. I did started this one this week, but I had to put it down because my audiobook had to go back to the library, but I placed it back on hold, and so hopefully that will come back to me sometime soon. But as far as I got to I got to chapter 3, so I read the first 3 chapters, and I was really enjoying it from the first 3 chapters. This series is narrated by Steve West, who's one of my favorite narrators for audiobooks, so I'm really enjoying the experience of that. So hoping to finish this. This is yet another most anticipated read of mine, and I'm just happy I'm getting around to my new releases on my new releases list. Next one I have is flowers on the cover or nature on the cover, and so I picked Garden of the Curse by Katie Rose Poole. I'm actually currently reading this one right now, and I'm doing a weekly vlog for it, so I'm very excited to say that I'm almost finished with this as I'm currently filming this video. I'm literally that far into it. I'm on page 250 right now, so very stoked to be finishing this one tonight, and you'll hear more about this in my weekly vlog and also in my May wrap-up. For Finish a Series, I picked out Destroy the Day by Bridget Kemmerer. I have the audiobook of this one checked out for my Libby account right now, so I'm nervous but also very excited to get to this one. I hear a lot of people have been crying in this finale, so I'm curious to see why they've been crying, just because I love Bridget Kemmerer's writing, and so we shall see what this finale has in store for me. Again, it's a finale of a trilogy, so I'm not gonna tell you what happens in the first 2 books, but just know the first 2 books I gave 5 stars to, so I'm hoping we do the same thing with this one. For Read a Book Off You Physical TBR, I did a number generator for this one, and so I did a number 1 through whatever's on my unread shelf, and so it picked These Deadly Prophecies by Andrea Tang, and I was actually pretty excited for this because, as you can see, this is one of our shorter reads on our TBR, which is amazing. I also had this on my TBR for February, I want to say, and I just never got around to it. This was for Read a YA thriller prompt, and I never got around to reading it, so I'm hoping with this video it'll make me read this book. And I just hauled this in my February book haul, so you guys should see that soon. Sorry, I had a terrible cough that wasn't going away. Anyways, our next prompt is to read a book with LGBTQIA plus main character in the storyline. And my friend Lori over at the Chatty Bookworm, I can hear her screaming right now. She will be so excited that I am finally picking up In Deeper Waters by F.T. Lukens. I'm so excited to read this. This is my best friend Lori favorite read ever. It's a pirate story. It's a male romance novel, and I've been missing my male reads. I feel like I haven't read a whole lot of them this year like I wanted to. So if you guys have any recs, let me know down below and I'll definitely check them out. Again, another short read, and another cool thing about this book is that this is a YA fantasy standalone novel, and we don't have to wait for a sequel or the next installment of this universe. So very stoked to be getting to this, and I think if I'm not mistaken, this is on my top 24 list, or even 23 backlist title that I wish I got to last year but never did. If it's in one of those videos, I'll leave it up above in the cards or down below in the description. But yes, Lori, I am finally reading one of your favorite books, and I cannot wait to see what this one has in store for me. I really don't know too much about it, so pretty stoked to be getting around to it. The next book is to read a book under 300 pages, and so I'm going to be reading Miss Lynn in Parts Half Known by Shauna McGuire. I love these little tiny itty bitty books. I'm sad to say that there's one more book coming after this, and that's the finale of the series. I loved each and every one of these books, and I look forward to every single January when Shauna McGuire releases a new Wayward Children novel. I don't know too much about this except it deals with dinosaurs, and a lot of people have been giving this 5 stars. They've been saying this is their new favorite of this world, so I'm curious to see if this will be a new favorite of mine. This is definitely under 300 pages, but I just curious. 146 pages total, so that definitely counts for read a book under 300 pages. I really hope I get to this, because if I don't, I'll be really mad at myself. The next one is to read a graphic novel, and so I will be reading The Mortal Instruments Volume 7 by Cassandra Clare, and art done by Cassandra Jean. Oh my gosh, my words. This is the newest installment. I literally just bought this yesterday as I'm filming this video. I literally just filmed a TikTok video of hauling this book, so definitely check out my TikTok so you can see other bookish content. I'm pretty stoked to get to this. Again, it's a sequel to the classic Mortal Instrument. There's an 8th volume coming in October, so very stoked for that. And it should be a very short, easy read. I think I might read this next after reading Garden of the Curse, because I feel like all my short books I should get to first, or maybe I'll split them in between all these heavy fantasy books that I have. The next prompt is to read a book in a different format than you own. So I always physically read, or at least try to physically read books. So I'm going to be listening to the audiobook of This Behemoth Chunky Book, Wrath by John Gordon. I'm so excited that I'm finally getting around to reading this conclusion of this series. This is on my top 24 series I wanted to complete this year, so I'm hoping this video will motivate me in reading this. I'm scared to read this because of the last installment made me cry. It literally ruined me. My friend Taylor recommended me this series. I absolutely adore the series. I'm nervous for it, but yeah, it's chunky. So these books usually take like all of my like energy out of me, but I'm hoping it doesn't with this one. I think I might have a book hangover because my friend Taylor says she didn't know what to pick up next after finishing this book. She said she was literally crying for 2 hours over this book, and I was like, oh no, that's gonna be me. So I'm very excited for this, and I know Taylor has been waiting for me to read this to see my reaction to this one, so pretty stoked too, hoping to complete a series on this list. Next challenge is to read a book with found family, and so I picked Little Thieves by Margaret Owen. This is the first book in a new trilogy. Book 3 actually just got a cover reveal. This is a stunning cover for book 3. Sadly, book 3 doesn't come out till 2025, and I'm pretty stoked for that, even though I haven't even read books 1 and 2. I remember I bought this in 2019. Oh my gosh, that's so long. So yeah, I had this on my shelf since 2019. I bought this at Barnes & Noble in LA at the Grove because I bought this during my Yallwest adventure. I'll leave my Yallwest vlogs up above or down below for you to check them out. But it was such a fun trip. I got to meet some of my booktube friends, some of my favorite authors. And I'm sad to say I still haven't read Little Thieves yet. But I forgot who it was, but I saw one of my friends recently talk about this one, and I was like, oh, that actually sounds intriguing. And they also mentioned that this had found family in it, so thank you for mentioning that. I love it when us reviewers mention what tropes are in what books. So this is going to be a start of a new series for me, and I'm pretty excited to see what this universe has in store for me. And the last one is your forgotten book, and so my forgotten book is going to be The Last Magician by Lisa Maxwell. I was at the bookstore yesterday with my friend Elizabeth. Hi, Liz, if you're watching. And I saw that this series is now completed. All 4 books are in paperback. So looks like I might be binge reading this book series this summer. I bought this so long ago. I don't even remember when. I think I bought this in one of like my book shopping vlogs with Taylor maybe, or maybe at Target. I honestly don't remember where I bought this book. Oh my gosh, there's a sticky note in here that says, read a book that came out in 2017. Oh my gosh, how old is this series now? The copyright of this book says 2017. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is totally a forgotten book. I recently reread the summary of this book, and it kind of piqued my interest again. So I was like, oh, maybe I can read this and see if it still stands up to today. If not, I'll sadly unhaul this. But I'm nervous to get to this one. So yeah, there you have it. That is all the 12 books I am reading for this readathon. For Readathin, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, turn your notification on so you don't miss any new videos coming from me soon, and I'll talk to you guys down in the comments below. If you guys made it all the way through the video, leave a whatever animal this is, a snake. Yeah, let's leave a snake emoji. Leave a snake emoji down below and let me know that you made it at the end of the video. If you want to buddy read any of these books with me, please let me know down below in the comments as well. I'm always down for a good buddy read, and I'll talk to you guys down in the comments below. Bye!